North America's history begins thousands of years before European contact. Around 16,000 years ago, humans crossed the Bering Land Bridge from Asia, spreading across forests, plains, deserts, and Arctic tundra. These early inhabitants adapted to a variety of environments. In the north, the Inuit developed tools and techniques to hunt seals, whales, and caribou in freezing conditions. In the Great Plains, people hunted bison and built temporary settlements. Along the coasts, fishing and gathering sustained communities. Agriculture developed independently in some regions, with the cultivation of maize, beans, and squash supporting larger populations. Complex civilizations emerged in Central and South America, including the Maya, Aztecs, and Inca. They built cities with pyramids, roads, and irrigation systems, practiced astronomy, developed written languages, and produced sophisticated art, pottery, and textiles. These civilizations influenced trade and cultural practices far beyond their regions. European exploration began with Norse Vikings around 1000 AD, who briefly settled in Newfoundland. Their settlements did not last, leaving little impact. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed west from Spain seeking a route to Asia. Instead, he reached islands in the Caribbean, initiating centuries of European exploration and colonization. Spain, Portugal, France, the Netherlands, and England established colonies across the Americas. Spain claimed much of Central and South America, bringing missionaries, conquistadors, and settlers. French explorers founded Quebec in 1608, focusing on fur trade and alliances with native tribes. The Dutch settled New Amsterdam, later New York, emphasizing commerce and trade. The English established Jamestown in 1607 and Plymouth in 1620. Jamestown struggled with disease, starvation, and conflicts with Native Americans until tobacco became profitable. The Pilgrims at Plymouth faced harsh winters, aided by Native American Squanto, leading to the first Thanksgiving in 1621. Over time, English colonies spread along the East Coast, bringing settlers, livestock, crops, and European cultural practices. Expansion often caused tension and conflict with native peoples. By the mid-18th century, 13 British colonies lined the Atlantic coast, each with distinct economies and societies. New England emphasized trade, shipbuilding, and small-scale farming, while the South relied heavily on plantation agriculture, particularly tobacco, rice, and indigo, supported by enslaved African labor. Colonists increasingly resented British taxation without representation, such as the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Townshend Acts of 1767. Protests escalated with events like the Boston Massacre in 1770 and the Boston Tea Party in 1773. Armed conflict began at Lexington and Concord in April 1775, when colonial militias resisted British attempts to seize weapons. The Continental Army was formed, and George Washington was appointed commander. Battles at Bunker Hill and elsewhere demonstrated colonial resilience despite British military superiority. In 1776, Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence, asserting that all men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Revolutionary War continued with victories and defeats on both sides. Foreign alliances, particularly with France, provided critical support in terms of troops, naval power, and supplies. The war culminated in 1781 with the surrender of British forces at Yorktown. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 recognized the United States as an independent nation, establishing borders extending to the Mississippi River. George Washington became the first president in 1789, shaping the executive branch, while Congress and the judiciary formed the framework for governance. The United States expanded westward rapidly. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the nation's size, opening vast territories for settlement.
Lewis and Clark's expedition mapped the western lands, documenting rivers, mountains, and interactions with native tribes. Florida was acquired from Spain in 1819. Conflicts with Mexico led to the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, resulting in the annexation of Texas, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and other territories. Alaska was purchased from Russia in 1867, and Hawaii became a state in 1959. Migration, urbanization, and industrialization transformed the economy. Cities like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, and San Francisco became hubs of commerce, culture, and innovation. Immigrants from Europe, Asia, and later Latin America contributed labor, traditions, and culture, creating a diverse society. Slavery remained a central issue. Southern plantations depended on enslaved African labor, while the North gradually abolished slavery. Abolitionist movements gained momentum, publishing newspapers, holding meetings, and aiding escaped slaves via the Underground Railroad. Tensions over slavery, state rights, and westward expansion culminated in the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Abraham Lincoln opposed the spread of slavery into new territories. Battles at Fort Sumter, Antietam, Gettysburg, and Vicksburg shaped the conflict. Generals Ulysses S. Grant and William Tecumseh Sherman led Union forces to victory. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation declared freedom for enslaved people in rebel states. After Lincoln's assassination in 1865, Reconstruction sought to integrate formerly enslaved people into society with citizenship and voting rights. Despite legal gains, systemic racism and segregation persisted, especially in the South, with Jim Crow laws enforcing inequality. After the Civil War, westward expansion intensified. Railroads connected coasts, enabling commerce and settlement. Homesteaders cultivated land under the Homestead Act, while cattle drives brought ranchers to new markets. Native American tribes faced forced relocation to reservations, and traditional ways of life were disrupted. Leaders like Sitting Bull and Geronimo resisted, but most tribes were subdued. By the late 19th century, industrialization accelerated. Factories, steel mills, and coal mines transformed cities. Immigrants provided labor for these industries, often living in crowded urban neighborhoods. Labor unions emerged, striking for better wages, hours, and safety. The Gilded Age saw wealth concentrated among industrialists, contrasted by urban poverty. Education and innovation expanded. Public schools became common, universities grew, and scientific research flourished. Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, and Nikola Tesla advanced electricity, communication, and industry. Transportation improved with automobiles, railroads, and eventually airplanes. The U.S. economy shifted from agriculture to industry and services, fostering cities, trade, and consumer culture. Immigration reshaped society. Millions arrived from Europe during the 19th and early 20th centuries, creating ethnic neighborhoods and influencing culture, cuisine, and religion. Asian immigrants, particularly Chinese and Japanese, contributed labor and trade, but faced discrimination, such as the Chinese Exclusion Act. Latin American immigrants later joined the workforce, especially in agriculture and urban industries. Despite challenges, immigrants enriched arts, music, food, and traditions. African Americans endured slavery's legacy, but contributed profoundly to society. Leaders like Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, W.E.B. Du Bois, and later Martin Luther King Jr. advanced civil rights. The 20th century saw the civil rights movement achieving major legislative victories, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Progress was uneven, with ongoing disparities in wealth, education, and health care. The U.S. government balances power among three branches. Citizens vote from age 18. Political parties, primarily Democrats and Republicans, guide policy on the economy, foreign affairs, and social issues. States retain authority over local matters, including education and law enforcement. Federalism allows variation while maintaining national cohesion. Daily life varies. Work weeks average 40 hours, with holidays and vacations common. Urban life is shaped by technology, media, and consumer culture. Sports, baseball, football, and basketball draw national attention, while education spans from primary school to universities. Freedom of religion is guaranteed, with Christianity prevalent, but many other faiths practiced. Poverty affects some regions disproportionately. American cuisine reflects diversity. Fast food, regional dishes, and immigrant influences combine in unique ways. Thanksgiving meals feature turkey and corn, while barbecue and seafood are regional favorites. Coffee culture is strong, led by chains like Starbucks. Alcohol is restricted to age 21, though Prohibition, 1920 to 1933, briefly banned it nationally. Music and arts thrive. Blues, jazz, and gospel emerged from African American communities, influencing rock, hip-hop, and pop. Country music developed in Appalachia, while folk traditions shaped American identity. Artists like Miles Davis, Johnny Cash, and Bob Dylan left lasting legacies. Visual arts, literature, and theater reflect diversity, from Broadway productions to regional art movements. Cities showcase history and innovation. Boston emphasizes education and early revolutionary history. New York, the largest city, features Broadway, Wall Street, and iconic architecture. Washington, D.C. houses the White House, Capitol, and Supreme Court. Southern cities blend history with modernization. Chicago pioneered skyscrapers and urban planning. Seattle and Silicon Valley drive technology and innovation. Las Vegas offers entertainment and tourism. California epitomizes diversity. Mountains, forests, deserts, and coastline coexist. San Francisco is famous for the Golden Gate Bridge and cultural movements. Los Angeles dominates film and entertainment. Tech giants like Apple, Google, and Hewlett-Packard started here. Tourism thrives with attractions like Disneyland. National parks preserve natural beauty. Yosemite, Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon, and the Rocky Mountains attract millions. Rivers, lakes, and waterfalls offer recreation and support ecosystems. Conservation efforts, initiated by figures like John Muir and Teddy Roosevelt, protect wildlife and landscapes. Photography and media have promoted awareness of these resources. From the first settlers to modern cities, America's story reflects migration, conflict, innovation, and cultural evolution. Diverse peoples, landscapes, and ideas shaped a nation that continues to grow while preserving history, embracing change, and influencing the world.